Hi everyone, welcome back to another video. We are continuing where we left off in A Realm Reborn, about to continue on Ursendel and skeletons in her closet. Ursendel has a confession to make regarding mysterious murders. So this should be leading us to the next dungeon. I was once a manservant in the employ of one of the oldest and proudest families in Gridania, the Dartencours. During that time, I had the honor of waiting upon Lady Amendine, mistress of the household. Fair as summer was she, and possessed of a heart befitting her radiance. Alas, the Calamity wrought a great change in her. Though my lady escaped with her life, death may well have been a kinder fate. Never will I forget the day her bandages were removed, and she beheld her disfigured face for the first time. At that moment, the kindly woman I knew ceased to be. Unable to bear the thought of being seen, my lady sequestered herself within her chambers and refused all company. This continued for many uneasy moons, until one day, without warning, she began receiving queer guests. None among us knew whence they came, these masked men, but my lady believed that they would help her to regain that which she had just lost. So began the rites of rejuvenation. Right, like that doesn't sound suspicious at all. These rituals seemed innocent enough in the beginning, but grew ever more grotesque as time went by. Eventually there came a day when my lady bound one of her handmaidens to her bed and proceeded to mutilate the poor girl's face. Suffice it to say, she did not survive the ordeal. It fell to me to dispose of her body. I performed the dreadful task as bade, obedient servant that I was, but when the time came to return to the house, my legs refused to move. I knew then that I could not go back to that place, not after the nightmare I had witnessed. So it was that I left Haukke Manor, my home for nigh on half a century. Long did I weep for the girl who was slain, and longer still for the woman that Lady Amendine had been. Yet one cannot weep forever, and I endeavored to put the matter behind me. Indeed, I had resolved never to speak of my experience, until you appeared before me. My lady's madness must be ended, lest more innocent lives be lost. Lay her tormented soul to rest, as you swore to me you would. She awaits you at Haukke Manor, on the western edge of the central shroud. Go now. Go and do what must be done. The great manor I once served in was no less magnificent than those found in the gentry's ward yonder. And magnificent it should be, for it was formerly home to generations of seed-seers. However, the elder seed-seer before the last declared that he needed not such extravagance, and the abode came into the ownership of the Dartencours family. Ah, that seems very generous there. But I don't understand why he just did not tell anyone what happened. I mean, I get being loyal and everything, but if somebody goes around and mutilates some poor innocent girl's face, then you think that would be enough of a clue to them. Yeah, so you can get some cool stuff from there. Anyway, as I was saying, I mean, there's loyalty to your job and everything, but come on, we all have a breaking point. And if I worked for somebody and I walked in on all of that, I would seriously be running off and telling the authorities. I mean, if he was worried that they wouldn't believe him, all he had to do was bring the body in, explain the situation, and have them take care of it. But that's just me. Because, come on, buddy, you should have known that there was no good way that this could ever end, except in a lot of people getting killed. I guess he just didn't want to get into trouble, and on that sense I kind of understand, but still. Maybe he could have gone about it a different way, but I don't know. Really not much point in thinking about it now, I guess. Alright, so here we are in the North Shroud. So, if I recall correctly, it is up on the upper levels of the Shroud here. Actually, no, this is the North Shroud. I was looking for the Central Shroud. I have no idea what was wrong with me there. Okay, so we can just head right back that way. So the next dungeon is Haukke Manor, and I do know a bit of lore about that. Apparently it was originally built for the Seedseers of Gridania, several hundred years ago, I think. And it just seemed like a huge waste to most of the people, like a waste of resources and everything. And I guess the Elder Seedseers eventually saw this as well. They understood that maybe it wasn't the best kind of example to be setting for the people. And so eventually it did fell into new ownership and everything, and I guess that's just how it got into Lady Amendine's hands. And on one hand, I kind of understand that because, you know, you're living in this great big extravagant manor. It does seem like it's a waste of resources and everything, and probably not the best example to be setting for your people when you're trying to build relationships between them and the forest. So eventually it did come into new ownership, and I guess that's just how it ended up in Lady Amendine's hands. Oh, did not mean to do that. Right, so this was actually caused by the Calamity, I think. Oh, I almost fell there. And we are very lucky that we actually have like this giant root here to actually connect between the upper and lower parts of the shroud. So we are close by now. Oh no, I forgot. Oh, this is where the Morbles live. Oh, I hate Morbles. Let's look at them. They are so ugly. Alright, here we go. Alright, the Fates. I forgot all about that. Oh, okay. I was just about to join in. Alright. So, otherwise, this is a very beautiful place to live if you ignore all the void synths wandering about. Alright, so Haukke Manor is now accessible. Let's head inside. Right, so this might be a while. I mean, normally it doesn't take too long if you're a tank, but, yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and skip ahead. I don't know how long this is going to take, so I will see you back in a minute. Oh my god, like, what was going on there? It took forever. Alright, so it did finally pop. It took a while. I don't know why, but I guess people just don't want to do Haukke Manor right now. But let's head on inside. It really is beautiful. I mean, it's very dark now and everything, but you could tell it was once a very beautiful place to live. Alright, so let's just grab a quick snack, and then we'll lead the way in. So I guess this is what happened to all those poor souls who were left inside the manor. Oh my god. Oh, that's just freaky what they did to the people here. So I guess this is kind of like the side effects of being exposed to like dark magic, I suppose, or being exposed to the void, I'm thinking. Carpet stain. Oh man, they brought a carpet stain to life. That's kind of freaky. Get back over here. Focus on me. Right, so there are keys that are scattered all throughout the manor that we have to use if we want to open up all these locked doors. It's a very different way of actually working in a dungeon, which I actually kind of like. It's very interesting. At least it's different. So for this dungeon, you actually have a say in how much you get to do. If you want to run through it quickly, I mean, you could probably run through this whole thing in about 15 minutes if you just choose to skip opening up all the extra doors and everything. I'm going to see if I can try to run through it just to show you what it all looks like. But I do remember that Haukke Manor used to be kind of popular because you could do it so quickly. I guess it really all depends on how much experience that you want to get. Man, look at all these desks. Like, what were all these desks for? It looks kind of like a, maybe part of a school. You know, that would have been a good idea to use the manor for, transforming into a school for, like, younger kids. So that they could come here and learn and... I mean, you might have to clear out all the marbles, but that seemed like a good idea. I mean, that's personally what I would do if I didn't want to turn it into a school. Like, there are plenty of other things that you could use it for. Like, turn it into, like, maybe a place of study, or maybe something like a hospital or something. I mean, there's certainly a lot of space. I mean, this is before all the Void Scent move in, but I think you got my point. Yeah, so scattered throughout the manor are all these locked doors. And with every key that you use, you can unlock them. Yeah, see, there's the music room. Teach kids how to play instruments. I mean, why else would you have all these instruments, like all these chairs set up? So I think maybe this might have been a school at one point. Oh, I just hate those maid servants. They are just so creepy, just drifting through the halls like that. They're coming this way. I know they're coming this way. So if we don't move, they're going to be meeting up with us, and we're going to have to take them out, but... I'm trying not to look at them. Personally, I think that Orsendal kind of escapes. Like, so it was lucky for him. Because this might have been his fate. He might have been turned into something like one of these if he stuck around any longer. So, I think he got a lucky escape. I wasn't actually planning on killing those guys, but alright. Oh, right, I forgot there's a door down there. Okay, so we can look in there too. Think I can get one of those maidservants from my house? Oh, that's funny. Sorry, it's hard to type out and fight at the same time. Especially since I'm still working on the controls. I'm trying to answer him. Sure, I mean, I support your decision of having one of those maidservants around your house if you don't mind them eating you in your sleep first. But that's just me. Okay, open up the locked door. Okay, so this is the wine cellar. With the right training, it won't happen. Sure, tell yourself that, buddy. Tell yourself. Oh, it's so nice to have, like, a group that likes to joke around. Okay. Okay, the Manor Claviger. Oh. Okay, so it's not enough that you just want a regular maidservant. You want this particular one. I admit, she's sexy, but hey. If that's what you're into... Again, I'm really sorry about this because, oh, writing and fighting are at the same time. Yeah, but if you want my advice, I'd start with one and just take it from there, and if that one doesn't kill you, then you can move on to 2 or more. But I think you're kind of pushing your luck with just one. Oh, I'm glad to see that was the plan all along. Okay, well, I'm glad I gave you the best advice I could. Alright, we got the green key, which should help us move on. Got some treasure here. So, this is the ivy door. So, of course, the green key would work with the ivy door. Where is everyone? Okay, then we're going the wrong way. Yes, unlock the door. Now, with this next part, you can either fight the beasts that are on the ledge here, or you can just jump down over the side, depending. Oh, now he's flirting with one of our teammates here. What a shameless flirt you are. Oh, she does roleplay a maid on her main. Okay. Whatever you're into, I'm not judging. Right, now we're on the ground. So this is probably what happened to the guys here. Wow. So the female servants got turned into sexy demons, and the male servants all kind of just turned to bone. I am not sure which is worse. Probably the skeletons. Wait, people get paid for my services? And she's only ever done it for free. Oh, I love this group. So you're a freebie. Oh boy, I think a lot of people would love that kind of idea. Okay, we're getting off the topic here. And it looks like... What the heck was this place used for? It looks like a dungeon. Okay, maybe not the best idea to be using for a school then, if we actually have a dungeon. I mean, unless this is where you want to keep your really misbehaving kids. Might be a little bit extreme. But seriously, what was this place used for? Oh, what do you know? She got a job. Which is perfect during these times. Jobs are very hard to come by. Oh boy. I mean, I could understand if this place was used as, like, storage, but come on, there are bars here! I'm guessing that this part was originally part of the whole house, and that it wasn't something that the masked man put in. I mean, unless he's just really, really good with that. Seriously. I don't need that. Okay, so someone else can have that. And there are weapons down here. What the heck is that? It looks like some kind of medieval torture device. I really don't like what might have been done down here. Okay, but I'm getting distracted here. Let's just move on. Take care of all these things. The second boss should be right around the corner, I think. Now again, I mentioned this before, but you actually have a choice of how many monsters that you can actually fight. I mean, if you want to do more monsters and get a little bit more experience points, you can. If you want to do less and just speed run through this whole thing, you can do that too. I know, I feel kind of bad kind of dragging them along with me, because I just have to do everything here, but hey, I noticed that some of us are trying to level up, so this helps. Every little bit helps, right? Besides, we're almost there anyway. Okay, so we have the yellow key from that room, which opens the Carnation door, and these are... we actually have 2 bosses for the price of 1. So it's always good to try to go for the Manor Jester first, and then for the Steward. I know these are technically bosses, but they don't feel like bosses, if you know what I mean. Seriously, you're pushing your luck there, Sakura. Like standing right in the middle of the AoEs like that. Yeah, so looking behind at everything here, you see chains and cages. Oh boy. I mean, if you're into freaky stuff like that, I won't judge you, but still, I would strongly recommend you get some help. Just a friendly piece of advice. There we go. So these 2 aren't that bad. Alright, and they drop a bloody piece of parchment. So, one thing that you can always do is that you can just turn around and run back the way you came, but the easiest way is to just return. It will take you immediately right back to the beginning at the front door. And because we have the scroll here, we have the piece of parchment that can actually get us through the barrier. So in case you were wondering why we couldn't go up the stairs before, it's because there's a sealed barrier, kind of like at Tam Tower Deepcroft, and we needed something to unlock the seal. Now, as you can see this hallway here, this is actually a choice that you have. You can either choose to take care of whatever's left inside this manor, like the whatever mobs that are left, find a couple more treasure chests, at least 1 more treasure chest down this way, or if you rather, you can always jump straight into fighting the final boss, as my teammates here have clearly chosen to do. Aw, Sakura's lost. Just come back to the front door, my friend, and then climb the stairs. It's easy. So we don't have to kill this thing, it's just sort of guarding the door that you see here, and there's the lily motif in case you were curious of what that looked like. So we just have to kill it like halfway, and then it runs off to its master, or rather its mistress. Yep, there it goes. Now, that is Lady Amendine. If you want to keep her, Sakura, that is all on you. Good luck getting her home, though. Alright, so this fight shouldn't be that difficult. In case you're wondering about why her face doesn't look all messed up, because that's the whole lore behind it. That's the whole reason like she became like this. If you're not thinking that her face isn't messed up, she's got a tail and horns now. That's pretty messed up. Alright, so one thing about this whole battle arena, like every once in a while those lamps in each corner of the room will turn on and send out like these electric shocks. And just to stop that, you just have to turn off the lamps. That's not hard. So you can choose to ignore it if you want to. I recommend that you go ahead and turn those off if you are in a group where everybody is new. But so far it's really not too much trouble, especially if you have a really good healer. And then we have these ads that come up once in a while. You just gotta kill the ads. I think like partway through the battle, she does become invulnerable, and so attacks really won't work on her so long as we have all these ads up, so you gotta kill the ads. Problem is, there's so many and they all have minds of their own. You have to kind of run around and cart them all. Sorry, I'm doing my best. Okay, now everything's dead. We can focus on her. You can also limit break here if you have a limit break. And that was basically Haukke Manor. Right, so I guess we can just kind of head out of here right now. Alright. So thank you all so much for all your help. It was fun listening to you all talk. And yep, we can go. Darkness had taken roots within these halls, sprung from the most unlikely of seeds. One cannot help but admire the irrepressible spirit that quickened it to life. It is our pleasure to meet you at last, adventurer. You're every bit as intriguing as our master gave us to believe. It is no ordinary mortal who can acquire 1 crystal of lights, much less 3. The crystals make you strong, and it is to that strength that the light is drawn. Hydaelyn chose well. A pity that your existence is irreconcilable with our own. We cannot well allow you to continue upon your present course. Alas, we came here not to play, but to take the measure of your strength for Master La Habrea. That task now accomplished, we take our leave of you. Fare you well, bringer of light. Well, that was a rather strange introduction, but at least it's over with now. Oh, see? This is very strange, this place. So, it looks like that whole thing was set up just for us. I mean, I'm sure it was probably going on a lot longer than before when we started arriving here in Eorzea. At least I'm hoping so. But once we kind of came along, they decided, you know what, why don't we use this to our advantage? And so, like, once they realized, like, we were kind of on their tail, it was like, we'll use Haukke Manor as a way to gauge their strength and see just how much of a threat they are. Okay, so this is actually supposed to be another way in, but it doesn't look like that they'll let us. Yeah, I think you have to be a certain level to be able to unlock this particular door, which is kind of stupid if you ask me. Oh well, I mean, what can you do? We'll just teleport back, we'll make it easy. And I think that this is actually a good place where we'll kind of call it a day for right now. Alright, we're back. I know you missed us. You are returned. What sights awaited you within the manor? What has become of Lady Amendine? You must tell me all. So she went so far as to consort with devils. Well, that I could have done more to prevent her fall. May she finally find peace in the beyond. I know not whether the masked men you encountered are the same pair that first led my lady astray, but it is plain that they are of the same vile brood. Should the chance ever present itself, promise me that you will visit upon them tenfold the woe that they have brought upon others. But who am I to speak of punishment? By my silence I allowed I know not how many innocent young women to die unspeakable circumstances. It matters not wherefore. Through misplaced loyalty, cowardice, or both, I am an auditor to a gross crime. I will surrender myself to the authorities and accept whatever punishment they deem just. I only pray that the gods will have mercy on my soul. Yeah. I mean, at least he does feel bad about everything that happened. I do think that there will be some punishments, but maybe not too much, if you know what I mean. I mean, he wasn't responsible for everything that happened, but by staying silent, he did allow it to kind of continue on for who knows how long. And I do think that this must have been happening for at least a couple of years, because this happened months after she got her bandages taken off, after the Calamity. So I would say at least around a year, maybe 2 years, around that time frame that this all started happening. It must have taken a while for her to become so completely deformed like that. But we will go and speak with Menphilia, we'll tell her what we found out, and we'll call it a day right there. Alright, we're heading off to Vesper Bay. Good evening, Claire. I trust your investigation is faring well. As well as can be expected, thank you, Tataru. I'm back. I know you missed me. Welcome back, Claire. Full glad am I to see you safely returned. Tell me, how fared you on your sojourn to the Twelves Wood? Oh, went great. If you include demons and murders and everything. 2 of La Habrea's minions? And they sought to measure your strength by their own admission? The devils taunt us. It is beyond doubt, then. The Ascians have begun to move in earnest. Would that we knew to what end. Yet I will not bemoan our plight. Thanks to your tireless efforts, we are at least aware of the encroaching darkness. Alas, we can only do so much. It is clear to me now that we Scions are too few to protect the realm against this threat unaided. We must needs alert the 3 nations to the presence of this elusive enemy, and recommend that they heighten their vigil. There is no shortage of misery in the world that the Ascians might exploit. We have an arduous struggle ahead of us. Yet come what may, we must not allow ourselves to become lost to hope, for that is precisely what the enemy desires. We have gleaned all that we can from the information available to us. Let us set this investigation aside for the present. Another matter has arisen that requires your attention. Let me know when you are ready to be briefed, and I will summon the others. I noticed that she said, my attention. So she was specifically waiting for us to come back. Alright, I mean, what can you do? So the next quest is called the Wrath of Titan. So it looks like we'll be facing up our next primal very soon. But until next time, everyone, thank you for watching. This is Claire signing out.